So I want to talk a little bit about today about really how my life went after we were basically separated. It was pretty much divorce. The legal divorce was a couple years down the road, but let's just say we'll call it divorce. Um, After she told me she wanted me to just move out, that she didn't want to be married anymore. She wanted to. There was a lot going on for several years. I had no idea. I never had a name for her, how to describe her. Uh, a lot of people told me, "Oh, just use the B word." I prefer not to cuss. It's bad enough that I slip at work. Uh, I just don't. I don't want to cuss. I don't think cussing and swearing is necessary. But that's what I want to just talk about is the fact that after it all happened, living with somebody who was a narcissist. That's because that's the word. It took me years to find that word, and I might talk about it here and more in the next couple of videos. But I was a mess. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I was a complete and utter mess. I felt like I had nowhere to go at the time. I was living in Texas. All my family lives in the Northeast, um, mostly in Vermont, and I'm down in Texas. I have no family, no real close friends that I can just go and just unload onto. During the marriage, what she did was, like I said, she kept me isolated. Everything that went wrong was my fault, even though I tried to get her input on things, and it would all end up being my fault somehow, no matter what. And I'll probably go back and have to rewatch the other videos so I can remember what we talked about, so I can know what I need to get the more details about. But yeah, it was rough. So when we got divorced, I was made to feel I don't know how I can't I don't even know if I can tell you how it was. It's despair, heartbroken. I wanted to be there for my kids. I couldn't. I had to work. She wanted $200 a week for child support, and unfortunately, what I didn't know was at the time, Texas never really how Texas looked at child support was. I think they still do because I know they are still an alimony state, but what goes on is okay. Mother and father are separated. They are going to get divorced. The father will sit there and give money to his soon to be former spouse, even though she has full custody of the kids and everything else. What's happening is the state of Texas does not look at that as child support. So I could have kept all the most immaculate records showing them that every week when I got paid, I was having her $200 to help out with the kids. Unfortunately, that's not how the state of Texas looked at it. I found this out later on. Was the state of Texas will say that's a gift. That wasn't child support. And if you are getting divorced, what they'll do is they'll retro all the back child support to when you guys separated, to the separation date. And then take all that money out of your check plus current child support. And I praise God every day that I didn't have to go through that. We ended up getting divorce filed out of Vermont. Vermont. I didn't realize this until afterwards. Vermont is an alimony state. I don't think she knew that. I think, or else she probably would have tried to get alimony out of me. Unfortunately, she still got out of paying child support, which to this day I think is a bunch of garbage. Uh, there was a child subsidy, even though I had full custody of the kids for a while, for like 8 months. She held on to that child subsidy, so I never got it. I never got any of it until finally 8 months were up and the divorce was being finalized, and she had no choice but to give it up. So at the end of it, she had owed me, like, technically she owes me thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars, but I was told there's no way I was going to get that back. I was told, just don't even try. Um, yeah, so I mean, but afterwards I was in a very dark place, financially speaking, emotionally speaking, spiritually speaking. And what happened was I was in the pits of despair. I had no idea who to call for help. I had no idea who to, I would go with people and we'd pray, but that's about it. I never really felt like I knew who to go to talk to, how to get myself out of all this. I had all the demons. It felt like about every demon in the pit of hell was pounding on me, but in reality, it's probably just one specific demon that was just doing it. But I was in this horrible place forever, and I'm trying to take care of two kids, and I turned to a very specific drug for myself because the jobs that I had, I could not, marijuana in the state of Vermont wasn't legal at the time, so there was no way I could smoke marijuana or do any kinds of drugs. I chose not to turn to alcohol, which was probably a good thing, and so my drug of choice was pornography and sexually acting out. I did the hookup culture, hooked up with several different women, and it made it worse. I'm gonna be dead set and honest, guys. It made it worse. If that's what you're doing right now, and you're just in this place, and that's what you're doing. You are, just hooking up with random women, whether you're paying for it or just meeting them someplace. Uh, Looking at pornography, you know, doing whatever. Here's my plea to you right now: just stop. Just stop. I'll talk about pornography and how it affects you at another time. Right now, but that was horrible. I was a broken man. During that time, my daughter was in and out of the psych hospital for suicidal ideations and also for a suicide attempt. Uh, Certain members of the family, they said, "Oh yeah, we'll help you. We'll be here." No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Just a lot of garbage went on for a long time. It just broken. And it wasn't until about a year and a half ago. I'm going to say about a year and a half ago. Uh, Talking with my pastor, talking about, we're actually just having a real heart. I was telling actually everything that was going on, and got talking about my baptism. But when I got baptized at 18, what was going on, and he kind of asked me. He goes, could there be by chance you were baptized for that cute redhead that talked you into going to church, or do you think you were really, right with God? And I had to think about that. I really had to think about it. It took me a while. I realized, no, I did. As a mature adult, I finally realized, no, I didn't. I wasn't about, my baptism was wrong. I didn't get baptized for the right reasons. Okay, and we could, I'm not trying to make this into a religious, um, discussion. That's not my point. Although, Christ and the Bible is very dear to me and very, very important to me. What I'm wanting to do is share with you guys that path was not good, and it was destroying me, and it was slowly poisoning me. for a long time, I just wanted to. I really wanted to end it all. I was really wanting my kids to hurry up, finish school, either get their GEDs, finish school, do whatever they're going to do, just so I could end myself. Okay, that was. I was just so. I was. That's how deep I was. But it wasn't until talking with my pastor and he asking me about my original baptism when I was 18, the true reasons, and I sat and I prayed about it for a few days, and finally, I realized what was going on, what had gone on, and the Saturday night, the Sunday night, the night before church, I called him up and I said, "So should I just bring a change of clothes with me to church tomorrow?" He goes, "Yes, bring it. If you're going to do it, yes, bring a change of clothes." So went to church, and I'm not going to use the term rebaptized, but baptized properly. Baptized knowing that my heart was right with God, baptized that I'm repenting of my sins. And I felt like a new creation, a new being officially. It was a feeling that I know I didn't have the first time around. So, yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was easy. I'm not going to tell you now that it's been easy. I'm still battling. I'm still battling pornography. And it's hard. And really, with that, I found out it's not so much the pornography, but the dopamine addiction that comes with it. And I'm more than willing to. I'll talk about that another day with you. But guys, here's my plea with you: if you're coming out, out of a divorce, don't start down that road. Okay, take some time for you. All right, do that. Take time for you. Do what you have to do to get out of that darkness. Okay, do not fall into it. It'll sound so appealing. It's gonna sound so, yeah, I need to do this. No, you don't. Okay, get out. Don't start it. Don't start with the hookup culture. Don't start, just sleeping with different women. No matter what the circumstances are, just don't. Okay, and start praying. Get yourself right with God, man. Okay, all right. It's that time, man. You gotta, I'm telling you my story because I don't want you to go down that road. Okay, if as a lot of the decisions that I made during that period of time, the stupidity, how I reacted to things, even from like during how I did things after my first marriage, things that led up to my second marriage, things that went on during my second marriage and afterwards to this day, all the stupidity of it. I'm here to implore to you to please just don't go down that road. You're hurting, you're in pain. That's not the answer, man. Just, if there's anything I can tell you right now, man, start praying, get yourself right with God. Find someone to pray with. You got to find yourself a group of guys, someone, a foraging table, a foxhole, so to speak, people that will just have your back. People that will just, men who will just grab you, and especially when you're starting to go down that road, they'll just grab you, and they can't stop you, but at the very least they'll get your attention to that you're going into the pit of despair. All right. So with that being said, guys, we'll talk more later. God bless every one of you. And like I said, I just pray that me sharing these experiences that I've had will help you not make those mistakes. All right. Love you. God bless.